Okay, before we start with questions, Coach has a couple of opening remarks he'd like to make.
I just want to say how proud I am of our students for raising $2.5 million with Dance Marathon. We are a Dance Marathon family, and without question, that's the most important thing that happened this weekend. I just want to thank Kirk Spiro, his daughter Bailey. She danced all night. She's a freshman here, and it just means a lot to us.
Questions?
Another balanced effort from your team tonight, Coach.
Well, a lot of good things. Starting with, 22 assists on 27 baskets. I mean, that's where it all starts. You got a team that came in here ready to defend. They got after Pete. They got after Jordan. They got after us early. They were physical. And if you're going to score against that, you got to move the ball.
Talked a lot about closing out games before. Do you feel like you finally did that, got over that hump, against a team that you didn't do that against last time?
I don't think I was as concerned about it apparently as you are. Felt pretty good about a lot of the things we did. It was unfortunate we didn't win that game up there, but what we did was we learned a lot. Our defense in that game was not good, start to finish. And you're not going to win when you play defense the way we played up there. You got to give all the credit to Nebraska. They scored the ball up there because we didn't rotate. We didn't defend ball screens. We didn't defend in transition. We didn't recognize personnel. It was just a bad night defensively, and they capitalized every time. And this time we were a lot better.
Where do you feel like you got out of Peter tonight?
I thought he was great. I am so proud of him. I mean, he's got 5 assists, 5 rebounds, made his free throws down the stretch. They're top blocking him, they're chasing him everywhere. He had a couple looks. I'm sure he's frustrated that didn't go in, but I thought his shot selection was terrific, really efficient. And when he's out there and teams pay the attention to him that they play, it opens things up for Jordan, for Brady, for Tyler Cook, for everybody else on our team.
You outscored them by 18 from 3, and you talked about that on Friday. Just talk with Brady and Jordan the way they were shooting down.
Well, it's all about ball movement and screening and recognition and how to get the ball to those guys and just be locked in to, okay, who's hot? Who are our shooters? You got to find Jordan. You got to find Brady. Brady was cooking. You got to get him the ball, and that's an unselfish group.
Tim was in here and he mentioned that you guys finished them off. That in those crucial possessions late, you were able to get open looks and finish that off. What led to that?
I think it was our bench play. I mean, we rotated a lot of people, 33 points off the bench. I thought we had maybe fresher guys at that point. Our activity level was really good. The tough thing was we went small. Obviously, we went small for offensive reasons, and you're susceptible to offensive rebounding, especially against this team. Jacobson is a terrific offensive rebounder, so is Tremanga. Ed Morrow, one of the best in the league when he comes back. So you get one thing, you give up another, but I thought we got the ones we needed.
Seemed like you guys did a good job helping on Webster and getting the ball out of his hands for the most part.
Well, I mean, he torched us the last time. He had Watson. Watson's a little banged up, obviously, but Webster's a handful. He just seems to have a knack to be able to get to the rim kind of anytime he wants, and we did a better job of walling him off. Now, again, you give up a couple screen rolls, you give up a couple rotations to the corner. Horn hit a 3. The one time McVeigh hit a 3, and so it's 2 of the 3s we gave up. But the rest of our activity level at the three-point line was really good.
Fran, it's back-to-back games for Brady with 5 assists, no turnovers. It seems like he's becoming maybe one of your most important players now.
That's safe to say. I mean, he's smart, he's tough, he's cerebral. I mean, he can play any one of 3 spots. He knows exactly where to go, where to line up every time. And he's a much underrated defender. So I'm really proud of him.
First 3-game win streak in conference play this year. What's clicking most when you reflect on the last 3 games?
Ball movement, unselfish play offensively, and our defense has picked up.
3 games ago,
confidence might be the wrong word to use, but I'll use it anyway. How confident were you that, you guys would pop back as opposed to sliding?
I felt really good about it. And the reason for that is, I've said this to you before, I know the character in that locker room, so I was certain we would play well against Ohio State. We got our ears pinned back by Illinois and did not play well in that game. And somehow, some way, showed some fight. We looked up there, we're down 6 and couldn't believe, or 8, I couldn't believe it after we played the way we played. So I said, you know what, this team is going to fight. We just have to execute better. And I thought we'd have a great crowd on a Saturday night, which we did. They were fabulous. I thought we'd have a great crowd today, which we did. The key game, I think, in that stretch, Mike, was going to Rutgers, who obviously played really well against us here. They played really well against Wisconsin in Madison Square Garden the Saturday before our game. And we just had to show that we had the maturity to go on the road and put a game together like we did that night. So all of those steps were big steps for us.
Where did your team grow the most the previous 2 games without Peter, do you think?
I think just trusting everybody, trusting each other, moving the ball around, sharing the ball. We mixed up post scores, jump shots, penetration, getting to the free throw line. We mixed motion and continuity and set plays, which ultimately makes you harder to guard. When teams prepare to play us, typically, you start with the starting 5, and Brady's been one of our best players lately, so you got to talk about him. And Cordell's coming off the bench, and he's a handful, and you just kind of keep going. Dom Mule's getting healthier. He was terrific today. Played well against Rutgers. So that's the team we have, and that's the way we have to execute, with taking advantage of all the different pieces that we have and kind of blending them together and get them to sort of trust one another and support one another.
You got a couple other big guys in foul trouble. Did that affect the perimeter defense? You were able to focus on that a little more to help on Webster and stuff like that, or is it?
Well, it allows you, especially in ball screen defense, to stay a little longer. But those guys play physical all the time, and they're going to get called sometimes. Sometimes they don't get called as many. But Chimanga is really one of the more improved players in our league right now. I mean, we played him the last time. He was barely mentioned in the scouting report. And he gets 15 and 9 at Michigan State. We talked about him for 4 days, so that's a credit to him.
Jordan set a record for most made 3-pointers by a freshman. Do you have anything to say on that?
I'm just proud of him. He's really played well at both ends of the floor. He's played well as a point guard. He's played well as a shooter. You just can't rattle him. He doesn't. He plays at his pace. You can't rush him, and he knows exactly what we want done. And the other thing he has is incredible amnesia. So if he makes a mistake, it never lingers on him, and that's an important characteristic to have.
We'll take one more question if you have it.
Thank you.
Okay.